Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Titans episode 11. This is called Dick Grayson. This review, of course, is going to have spoilers in it, and I'm going to talk about episode 11 with Dick Grayson, and I'm also going to talk about there's an after credits scene. I'm going to talk about that and the Titans' first season overall, and my opinions about that. Okay, so let's go forward with this. You know how episode 10 ended with Dick Grayson and Corey and Donna running back to the house once they found Corey's ship and they figured out that Rachel's mother, is with Trigon, and they had to stop him. So they were running to the house. In the house, Trigon had been pulled through the mirror, through the dimension into Rachel's mother tricked her into to save the guard and to pull and using her powers to pull Trigon into our universe. Okay, so he's there and he helps save Gar, so she's happy for him. And now, she said, basically she told her, "Are you ready to destroy the world?" And he said, "No, we got to break her heart first." And he was talking about Rachel, obviously. Okay, and of course we see as Dick, Donna and Corey, go towards the house. They enter the house. They try to enter the house. Only Dick can get through, and then it goes off. And okay, so we pick up this episode. It actually begins with we see a nice suburban house in California. And we see Dick relaxing, lounging in the pool, and then his son runs up and splashes him, and he runs back into the house. And then we see that he's married to a very pregnant Dawn of Hawk and Dawn, Hawk and Doug. He's married to Dawn apparently, and has a young son, and she's pregnant, and about to give birth in another month to a second child. And we see that he's happy, he's settled with his life, and we actually see him talking to. He gets a video phone call from Rachel and Garfield. They apparently are I think in the Midwest somewhere in college. Okay, and we see that Rachel's happy and Garfield's happy, and they're together in college, and they plan to come over there for either Thanksgiving or Christmas to their house. And you see that she's happy, and of course, Dick is happy with his life, and he's happy with the way things are. And then all of a sudden, somebody pulls up to his driveway, and we see that it's Jason Todd. Jason Todd, this time he's in a wheelchair, and he kind of explains to Dick how he became put into a wheelchair when I think he said when the Riddler shot him. But anyway, he basically is there to tell Dick that he has to come back to Gotham. He said that Commissioner Gordon's dead, and Batman wants to kill the Joker. He's going to kill the Joker, and he needs you to save him. He said, "I was wrong. I thought it was all cool and everything, but he really needs you. Only ever listened to you." Okay, and then he goes and he tells Dawn, and Dawn she tells him, listen, he doesn't really want to go at first, but she kind of convinces him. She said, listen, you could save Bruce. Bruce saved you, so you kind of have to return the favor. You should return the favor. And then he reluctantly agrees and goes and says he'll be back in a few days. Okay, and then we see him fly into Gotham City, and it looks like Gotham City has gotten worse. Okay, you see crime basically everywhere. Even the taxi driver didn't want to drive him all the way downtown, so he stops at a hotel. Okay, and we find out, that Gotham, he finds out that, he's looking through, even people in the hotel are getting assaulted in the hotel, and it doesn't matter. And the cops come and they find out, of course, he's a cop, and then, he makes a decision that, after this day, he said he's just fed up with Gotham. He's going to go back. He talks to his wife on the phone. Said, listen, he finds out his wife is sick and stuff, and the kid is sick, and she's kind of stressed out. And he said, listen, I'm gonna come home. But before he goes home, the images fluctuate and change again on the TV that he's watching, and he finds out that the Joker has been thrown off the roof. Okay, and he heads over to the crime scene. Okay, and he finds out that apparently Batman threw the Joker off the roof, and he figured out that Batman has crossed the line, but then we find out the Joker's not really dead yet. So then he goes to visit the Joker in the hospital to see him, and then that's when he runs into Starfire, who's dressed now in civilian clothes, and apparently this is a few years later, obviously, and she's worked, I think, for the CIA and stuff, but she tells him that she hides her identity obviously from them, and she's telling him, listen, you should go back to your family. Okay, just this is not worth it for you. You can't save him, and he finally decides that that he's going to go back again, and he heads over to actually, he said, I owe it to Bruce to talk to him, and he goes to talk to Bruce in Wayne Manor, and of course, and then he kind of hits the thing to the Batcave, but it doesn't quite open up all the way, and he kind of talks to him and said, listen, Bruce, you need to stop this. You haven't crossed that line yet, okay? So you really need to stop and stop this before it gets too late, okay? And then you see him go back, and then we find out later on his way back to the hospital that Batman has come, and on his way to when he gets into the hospital, he sees that the Joker is is dead. He's stabbed with a batarang, and you see Batman right at the window. He just jumps out when Dick calls his name. He jumps out, and then that's when he goes to the cops, and the cops say, listen, and he tells them, listen. He goes to the cops and said, listen, he crossed the line, and he basically gives up Bruce's identity to them and tells them, listen, he's Bruce Wayne, and he makes a plan. He says, listen, this is a mission we can, we'll have tranquilizer, we'll go in force, and I'll just supervise it, and you just, give them, the cops tell us, we'll give them tranquilizer darts, and so that way we can bring them in, okay? And then, of course, when they go there, it's a massacre. Bruce, basically, he starts slaughtering all the cops stuff. He even, Corey, who shows up, and Dick had a promise that she wouldn't kill him, but, after he slaughters the cops, and she's getting ready to use her power on him, he sees that, he knows Bruce, and he knows Bruce turns around, with a cold gun and zaps and basically, and kills Starfire. And then, of course, then he tells the other cops to listen, because they put explosives all over the mansion, to hit the button, and they hit the buttons, and the mansion basically blows up. And Dick goes in, and he sees Bruce, who kind of, is dressed up as Batman, of course, obviously, and he's kind of reaching out to him, and he said, well, you crossed the line, that's it. And you wanted me to give it to the darkness? Well, I'm going to give into it. And then he kind of steps on his chest and, and kind of, I think he steps on his neck and snaps his neck, and obviously he dies. And then we see him, you see him, as he given into his darkness, you see his eyes turn into how Raven's eyes when she used her power, and you see that he's back in the house. That Gotham vision and the vision with his in California, married to Dawn and the kids, that was all an illusion by Trigon, obviously. Okay, and he basically gave into his darkness, and you see Rachel go up to him and say, Dick, please, she's trying to plead with him, and Trigon saying, listen, he's given into his darkness. I gave him a choice, and he kept choosing the darkness, which is kind of, is obviously a lie, because if you see the episode, it's basically every time Dick makes the decision to actually go back to Dawn and his son, Trigon changes the illusion and ups the ante, so he's kind of forced to stay and eventually give into his darkness. Okay, and then that's when she's pleading with Dick, and I think he says to her, they'll all see, like that, and you see him with a grin on his face, and he has the, obviously, he has the effect, that Raven has on her eyes and stuff when she uses her power. So now he's dark Dick, and that's how it ends. Okay, which surprised me, because again, I think originally this Titans was supposed to be, it was announced it was supposed to be 13 episodes, but now we got 11. So because there was also pictures of them in their costumes and stuff, so I don't know if they actually filmed it, and maybe what they decided to do was cut this season from 13 to 11 episodes, just so, because I know Young Justice is supposed to start on the 3rd of January, so I'm thinking maybe that's why they cut it short, because the way it plays out. Although, again, I thought for some reason that this episode was going to be 2 hours, but it was only the regular hour, Dick Grayson, and so maybe they did that on purpose, decided to end, because I know they're supposed to start filming it, I think, the 2nd season, I think in February, so I think hopefully we'll get the new episodes hopefully in the summer, which that's what I'm kind of hoping, or maybe next fall we'll get the 2nd season. But overall, this episode, again, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting 2 hours again, and also I was expecting for Dick to kind of not to give into his darkness, to actually see through Trigon's illusion. But I guess they wanted to end it in a cliffhanger, so which they did. So now we have dark Dick, so to speak, and so I guess that's why they wanted to end it that way, and I guess pick up whatever said, like I said, we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people are saying that they hope maybe next week, because next week is technically the 28th, that maybe they'll surprise us with another episode. But this is supposed to be the season finale. That's what they said. So I'm taking them at their word. I would love if they had another episode, but I think originally, like I said, the plan was for 13 episodes, and maybe they did shoot 13 episodes, but maybe they decided to have this season just be 11 episodes, and episode 12 and 13, maybe they're going to have that be the start of season 2. That's the only logical thing I'm thinking about. Maybe they're going to do that. Maybe they'll explain that to us around the time season 2 starts filming. Maybe they'll tell us that they did film episodes 12 and 13, but they want to save those for next season. Season 2 is that first 2 episodes. Maybe they do that where they eventually defeat Trigon, and then they can move on. Okay, but overall, the show. Let me again, this episode again we got a little bit of Raven, of course. Obviously, we got Trigon in the illusion and out of the illusion. There's mostly Dick Grayson. Okay, and we got to see Anna Diop as Starfire with her regular hair, and she looks fine like that. And hopefully next season they will stop having her, wear that bad wig, because her natural hair is just absolutely beautiful. So they should just have her like that, and just give her the Starfire outfit and keep her natural hair, and just do the effect, because she looked great when she was using her power before she was going to start to shoot Batman with her power. She looked absolutely fantastic, with that effect. I love that effect with her using her powers. So give her the regular hair. Her regular hair looks absolutely breathtakingly. She's a beautiful woman. Okay, so just leave her that. She doesn't need that hooker hair. Okay. And again, I have to reassess, because I hated that hooker hair. I even made a video about her look. I hated that hooker look. But Anna Diop, the actress, and the material rose above that horrible look, which that hair. I still, it made sense in context of what she was doing, but I still hated the hair. That's just ridiculous. But she's a beautiful woman, and she's going to act. And the writing for her character was okay. I just wish we had more of her character. Again, overall, this show was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be trash. I really did when I saw that first look of the costumes and stuff. But this show turned out to be one of the best shows ever, and I'm so glad that I subscribed to the network and this show is on, because it's one of the best shows. I think it's better than the CW shows, definitely. Supergirl's too preachy. Arrow's been on like way too long. Okay, Black Lightning. I like Black Lightning, but it's getting a little bit too. I like season 1 better. I think season 2 just got a little off the rails for me. And Legends, I still kind of like, even though I hate the way what they did to Firestone character. I hate how they got rid of him. But that show always makes me laugh. So that show is still always good to me. But again, Flash, like I said, and Flash is my favorite show. Okay, I just have to say that Flash is my favorite show. Supergirl, like I said, is a little bit too preachy sometimes. A little bit way too preachy. Okay? They should do more showing than telling. Okay? But Flash is my favorite show. If I had to rank a Flash, I guess Arrow mostly because I like Stephen Amell, and then I guess it would be Black Lightning and Supergirl like that, and then, well, Legends I like, so I'll keep Legends out of that. But anyway, now, what I want to talk about is the after credit scene. Okay? I was in, I have to be perfectly honest, because I was on the internet and I was looking at it and I saw beyond the trailer. Grace kind of spoiled it. Grace Randolph, she spoiled it by putting it in her thumbnail, the symbol. Okay, so that kind of spoiled that. But I still didn't know how it would be presented. And let me just say, the after credits. So you see, basically, it's in a lab. Okay, and you see a bunch of people just laying down, look all bloody, look they're all dead, and you see one guy like a scientist crawling away, saying, "Please don't hurt me." And then you see this big muscular guy. He walks over. Look at that. He's totally naked. He's walking over, and he grabs up the scientist by the neck, and just snaps his neck and drops him. And then you see him walking, and then you see a cage. You see a dog in the cage. Okay, and then you see the dog's eyes. Have that Superman effect. Have the Superman effect with the red eyes. So I thought immediately that's Crypto. Okay, and he opens up the cage and lets the dog out. Okay, and then of course, so we know that's Superboy. Okay, that's clone Superboy. It was a clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. Okay, so Superboy apparently is going to be in Titans, which I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought they were going to focus on the core character Titans, but Now, Superboy is technically, I guess he is a Titan. He was technically a Titan. He is technically a Titan in the comics, the later comics. So, but that got me super pumped up that they're going to do that. The Superboy, with the guy that wears the black t-shirt and is kind of emo all the time. That I wasn't expecting, and that really made me super excited for season 2 that we're going to get Superboy. So I can't wait for the next Comic-Con when they talk about it. I didn't know they were going to bring in Superboy, which is great. Now we're going to have Superboy. Hopefully Donna Troy will be on the show as a regular. I loved it. The actress, Starfire, Garfield, and hopefully they released a teaser for Doom Patrol, which I didn't watch yet. I'm going to do a reaction to that later. And hopefully they can bring Cyborg over, and we'll really get the Titans proper. And I know they talk about they're going to do kind of a Deathstroke version of Deathstroke 2 on the Titans. I don't know if that's going to be next season or season 3, but I am super excited. I was not expecting Superboy. That threw me, but I knew once. I had a feeling at first, but when I saw it, Crypto, when I saw the eyes, oh, that's Crypto. So obviously that's Superboy and Candace, him escaping from That's Candace. So that blew my mind. That it was him. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I'm looking forward to Titans. Okay, and I'm looking forward to Young Justice season 3, which starts not next week, but the week after. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm glad I signed up for the DC streaming service because to me it's worth it. Because I get for the comics, for the series, for the movies, I'm all in for it. So I'm happy. So anyway, overall, again, this show turned out to be a lot better because if you look at my other video that I made when they had the first look for the Titans, I was really disappointed in the looks and stuff. But this show, the writing and the casting, the only thing that my kind of beef with it is that I wanted more of the Titans. I didn't like those sidetrack episodes, even though that Hawk and Dove episode was good for the most part. I hate that it kind of sidetracked they kind of sidetracked. They left you with that teaser on episode 8 and then gave you Hawk and Dove and then picked up where it left off. That was kind of technically there are Titans, Hawk and Dove, but I didn't like that. I would like, again, more Titans. Exactly. So anyway, I loved it. So I'm super excited for season 2. Superboy is going to be a Titan. Oh my God. And again, I hope they make Donna Troy a regular. I wouldn't matter if they give her own show either, but I would like Donna Troy to be a Titan too. So hopefully next season, because I was hoping too that he was going to get his Nightwing. Dick Grayson was going to evolve into Nightwing at the end of this season, but hopefully that happens early in season 2, so we can get him in, make his transition into Nightwing. I want that to be early in season 2. I don't want to wait till a whole nother season before he, walking around without a costume. I think that'd be stupid. So hopefully they do that early. And maybe, like I said before, maybe they did shoot episode 12 and 13 and decided to push it back to season 2. And then at the end of episode 13 technically, or episode 2 of season 2, he'll get his costume and he'll become Nightwing, and that'll be the way forward. Anyway, let me know what you think of this episode of Dick Grayson. What do you think of it? What do you think of season 1 overall of Titans? What are your favorite characters? What did you like about it? What do you hate about it? Are you super excited that Superboy, they brought again, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that. That caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that at all. And that was a great way to end it. And I didn't expect the cliffhanger with Dick giving it into his dark side. Okay, and ending it with that cliffhanger. That stuck me. And Corey and Donna still technically stuck outside the house. So what is Trigon going to do? Is he going to let them in? Then now that he has dark Dick Grayson, is he going to try to bring Corey and Donna into the house and turn them to dark too? And maybe the Titans will be dark, all of them, and then they have to be saved. But maybe that could be a way to go, right? And he turns them all dark, and then they have to be saved. Rachel will have to wind up, saving and fighting her father and saving them. Maybe that'll be how season 2 begins, which would be nice. Anyway, again, feel free to leave the opinions down below. I have links to my social media in the description box: my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.